what did I just read? I just read UK economy stagnates as high interest rates take toll. Obviously, the entire world is reeling from high interest rates, but it really does feel, of all major Western economies, that the UK is getting hit the fucking hardest. More layoffs, more bankruptcies. They have no 30-year fixed mortgage, so everyone's mortgage payments going up. It just feels bad. And I don't even know if they just barely got back to pre-pandemic levels. So I don't know if any UK fucks are here dealing with this, or maybe it's all going great. Mortgages can now go to your family if you die. You mean like if you took out a big mortgage, couldn't pay it, then died, your family has to pay it? So based. Fuck yeah, that's so sick. That's so awesome. That way the debt always gets paid. Pay it forward, baby. What country are supposed to flee to not die of poverty? I mean, these are all highly unequal societies, really. So it's not, you could just stay where you are and be rich and you'll be fine. But if you want to go to a country that has no poverty and all amazing equality for everybody, Atrioc land, because we're starting a brand new country on the high seas. I need everyone to pitch in. We are going to buy some boats and we're going to lash them together with big ropes to make one big flat super boat. And we're going to just sail around having a good time. Okay. We'll get a bunch of NVIDIA GPUs like I've seen. It'll be like Raft. Yeah, but cool without the sharks. I assume this will be in international waters. We'll go where we please. Okay. When you have a boat this big, no one can stop you. Pepe Law. I moved to the UK from Belgium expecting it to be better. I can tell this country is overhyped. I like to call it a first third world country. It's funny to call it overhyped. That's just so funny. Are you in London or no? Outside of London, the UK is Alabama, if that makes any sense. In terms of economic opportunity, I'm not talking about anything else, not culture. The UK is hyped for a very specific small amount of people. Based! That is what countries should be. My goal is every country should be really focused on a few people having the fucking goated time. Here, let me give you an example. Let's say someone is a 98 out of 100 on the happiness. To get them from 98 to 99, 10 million people have to go from 60 to 30. That's worth it, okay? That's worth it because then we get closer to perfection. We get closer to that top. And if you're at 60, who cares if you go to 30, bro? You have to be in the Sidemen to enjoy living in the UK. But isn't there like a fucking 80 million people in the Sidemen? Isn't half of the UK in some way in the Sidemen? I feel like it's pretty big at this point. Can you do a dive into why the US has 30-year mortgages but no one else does? Have to be baffled from NZ. It has something to do with our government backstopping. It's not the risk is not on the banks. The risk is on Fannie and Freddie, which is a government institution. Some of them, yeah, I mean, Canada's doing 50-year mortgages now. It's the length of the mortgage is not what matters. It's fixed. The thing that's unique about America generally is that we have 30-year fixed mortgages, which means whatever interest rate you lock in is the same the whole time. And that's risky for banks because other interest rates could change and then they'd be underwater on it. In the UK, it's 5 years. It switches to whatever the current interest rate is. And so in the UK, like in 2024, 25-ish, a lot of people's homes, like a huge amount of people's homes, the payments are going to go up a lot if interest rates stay high. Well, that's not true in America. In America, most of America is locked into 30-year fixed rate mortgages. If you already own a home, your payment doesn't go up, but you can't sell because whatever you buy next will have a much higher payment. You can't like trade to a different house. So it's causing everybody in America to not be able to move. And there's like no supply of houses. That's the difference. Is being stuck in interest rate is a good thing usually? Yeah, it is. Whatever you lock in, you want to keep it that way because that means generally when you take out a loan to buy a house or whatever, a mortgage, you're trying to figure out if you can afford that payment, whatever the monthly payment is. And one of the big problems that happened in 2007, 2008 was adjustable rate mortgages or teaser rates, where you would get a house that would have like 1 year of really low rates. So you're like, oh, I can make these payments. And then they would jump up really fast. And then you couldn't make them anymore and you defaulted. And everyone bought those because they thought, fuck it. I'll have flipped this house by the time that comes around. But now, those are actually coming back in a way, but generally most people have 30-year fixed. UK mortgage haver. I went from 1.89 2-year fixed in 2021 to 3.5 5-year fixed late last year, and rates are 5.5 now. Yeah, you're exactly what I'm talking about. Yes, thank you for that example. Yeah, if you're a person with a UK mortgage, your rate is not fixed, and you have to be very worried that your payments are going to keep going up, and that's scary because your income probably isn't jumping up to match. Bro, just don't pay. Thanks for the free house bank. It would be sick if you could just do that. Like, sorry, nah, I don't feel like it. Yoinked. And the bank just has to like, it would be sick if the banks were like Cuddy. where it's like you could do that and all they could do is be like, oh, you, oh, you. But like instead they throw you in jail or drag you out of the house and throw your shit in the street. If everyone stopped paying, what are the banks going to do? It's a great question. What if everyone stopped paying? The problem is, if it's just you that stops paying and you're like, yeah, everyone's doing it, then you're fucked, right? And so everyone thinks like that, and so everyone doesn't do it. Same thing with student loans. Everyone here was saying, I'm not paying my student loans. I feel like a lot of people are. I feel like October came and went and everyone's paying their student loans on time, bro. Couple people maybe? What if you use the bank's money to buy an impenetrable fortress so they can't get in? This is a childlike line of discussion, so let's go into it. When you take out a loan from a bank, they're going to ask you what it's for. So you're not going to tell them it's for an impenetrable bank fortress, right? Just to be clear, you have to lie, say something else. But then you're going to need a good amount of proof of what you are spending, like a business idea. I'm going to open a bakery and this is the business plan or whatever. So that's tough. And then are you building this fortress or buying it or where is it? You know, because unless it's outside of the country, I feel like they have the ability to get in. Trust me, don't go pre-owned. You're like a fucking impenetrable fortress real estate agent. You're going to trust me on this one. You're not going to want to go pre-owned, okay? I've seen a lot of problems with these before. You're going to have termites in the drawbridge. You're going to have, you know, rust in the cannons. It's not going to work. What you're going to want is you're going to want to build. There is a surprising amount of billionaires who have bunkers in New Zealand. They have like compounds or bunkers in New Zealand to ride out the apocalypse, because New Zealand is just like nice, temperate climate, isolated island, probably far away from the violence if we get into World War V. Just it has like a lot of natural reasons that would be a good place to ride out the apocalypse, and so they're there. It is a beautiful goddamn country, I will say. Brokey doesn't have one. Me and Aiden were talking about splitting a New Zealand bunker and then just meeting up there when shit gets south, you know? When are you gonna IPO? I need to cash in on these box stops I've been saving. I have no idea what you just said. I understand those words, but not in that context. When am I, an individual person, going to IPO, list myself on a stock exchange, okay? Already doesn't make sense. Then you've been saving box tops. So that's when you cut out the little thing from the cereal box, and those are going to somehow help you buy publicly traded shares of an individual human streamer. And you guys are all saying yep, so you all understand it and I don't. Capitalism hasn't gone far enough if you can't trade individual shares of a human. Didn't Mr. Beast want to do this or something? Make like a human stock exchange, a creator stock exchange. It was like, if you see a creator that's like got, I don't know, 100 viewers or whatever, you would be able to invest in them, and then if their viewers went up, you would get a cut of their revenue, you'd make more money. The problem is with this idea, there's a bunch of startups that did something similar. So you guys, I haven't talked about this, but there are startups that have reached out to me that want to buy my YouTube catalog in perpetuity, in the past and the future. They'll pay you a big flat upfront fee, pretty significant, but the idea is they get all your revenue, and of course you have to keep working, you have to keep uploading. The problem with these business ideas is, one, they're money-making businesses. Their plan is to make more. They've done the math, right? To make more off of you than you are going to make. Secondly, the idea is that if you get a big upfront chunk of cash, that's going to make your content better. The idea is that if I were to suddenly get $1 million that I could spend on content, that I would actually be able to use it effectively. Basically, not even $1 million, sort of the more reasonable amount for like, if you were investing in a small streamer. The idea is that like, if a streamer has a better PC setup and mic and camera, that their quality is going to go up. And I think that's not true. That was the idea behind Machinima and Makerspace. No, the idea behind Machinima and Makerspace and all those YouTube groups was that YouTube advertising wasn't as good then. And so you had to kind of get your own ads. Like that was the best way to make money. And doing that by yourself is hard. And if you grouped with a bunch of people, you could have one salesperson or one sales team go out and get sponsors for all of you, and you can negotiate as a group. That was generally the idea, but they took such a big cut and offered so little value that it wasn't really worth it. Yo, H-Rock, what should I get for dinner tonight? Fish and chips in honor of our fallen friends in the UK.